Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and today I want to try something with the TerraMaster all-flash NAS that they sent me a couple of weeks ago to review. It comes with its own NAS operating system, and that is called TOS. Guessing that the T is for TerraMaster, and O could be operating and S could be system. Wild guess. But in the past I've been able to install other stuff on these boxes, which has worked rather well. I got some comments on the last video that this was way overpriced for an 8-bay NAS. It might not look like a much, but it actually has a really powerful processor and 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's not bad for a NAS. I think that people might not have looked into what an 8-bay NAS otherwise costs, because I think this was about $800, and that is pretty much the lower end of what you can expect to pay for an 8-bay NAS. And that would be NASes with spinning disks, and this is all flash disks, so it's a newer generation, and you're already paying more for the previous generation. I do though acknowledge that it doesn't look like much that you get for $800 because it's so small, so it feels like it should be cheaper. And looking what's inside, I don't see where all of that money went, but that NAS software is usually also expensive. Go check out what Synology takes for an 8-bay NAS, and you'll see that you actually don't get an 8-bay NAS for $800 or euros or pounds. Enough about that, let me tell you what I'm planning here. So these boxes, which is why they're great, they have a monitor output port. Actually, the first TerraMaster NAS that I reviewed didn't have a screen port on the back, but it had a cable inside, and you could order the cable that went inside, and I had to hacksaw out the port for that. Was a VGA connection, but with that VGA connection I could connect to the NAS and I could install something else on it. I did that and it worked great. I believe that was Server 2019. So today I'm hoping to install Server 2025. I have never seen that operating system yet, so I thought, double win. Other than that, it has USB ports and it has a network port. I might need to go and get the network cable, but it only has 2 USB ports, so as I want a keyboard and a mouse and a USB key on it, I've had to add like a USB hoop, so that I get some more USB ports. So yeah, we're doing that. So, but we need to jump into it and decide how it boots. And I've cheated a little bit. I made sure that I knew how to do that. So I'll show you. Yes, I should clean up my table for sure. So keyboard here. We are recording. Power on there. Delete, 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 and we're in the BIOS. Haha, that's easy, right? So there is so many possibilities in this BIOS. We can see the processor here, and this is the i3 N305. This is a really good low power CPU. I said in the last video that it benchmarks just about 10,000 in Passmark, and that is really good for a low power CPU. You can get CPUs that is about 150,000, but that is more in the $10,000 range. But we need to go and tell it how to boot, and my first guess is that over here it says TOS boot first enable. I think if we disable that, there we get more options down here. I don't know, we have that thing, I'm not sure. Oh, genuine flash disk. I think that's the one that is in there, that the the TOS installer is on. So I hope that we're not gonna damage that. Then we have the two terabyte NVMe drives that I put in it. And then we have my boot device for installing Server 2025. So we want to boot on that one when we get to it. We do want to boot from something else right now, so I need to figure out what to press in the BIOS to get the boot menu. So I think we need to change the boot order as well. That's weird. Why does it? It tells us that the boot order is this. Can we remove this? We can disable that one. There. Okay, let's see how that works. Yep, then it's how we want it. And I need to figure out how to boot from this one, but yeah, we'll figure that out. Okay, I have not been able to find anywhere where I can enable on the AMI BIOS. I think it might be F12 that you normally press, and then you can select what boot device you want. And I've been in here under security and I've disabled secure boot. Not sure if that did anything. Well, I tried the F12 thing, but that didn't do anything. So I'm just gonna alter the boot order for now. So I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna select that one. And then it should boot from the USB stick. Let's see if it agrees with that. F4 save, and it does. That was quick. So now it's gonna boot from the USB stick, and then hopefully we can install our Server 2025, and then I'll have to remove the USB stick, and then it should boot from the NVMe drive again. I hope this works. It would be kind of fascinating to have a Server 2025 server running of that little box. And so far it looks okay. So language to install, English, time zone. I'm gonna change the time zone. I'm in Denmark, so I want the Danish time zone. Danish. And I'm gonna put in a network connection. Okay, network connection is in. It's not gonna make any, yeah, Danish keyboard. What is that? That is, we are installing Windows Server. I agree, everything will be blah, blah, blah. Yes. Next. There we have it. It's the evaluation version that I'm installing. I'm evaluating it. There is a standard version and there is the data center version. I would, under normal circumstances, really recommend the standard version with the desktop experience, because if you're caught with the data center version in an illegal copy, it's way more pricey than, well, we are just evaluating it. It is clearly the evaluation version, but it's very common if you pirate something, you take the biggest version because you're not paying for it anyway. But then if you mess up and suddenly have to pay for it, well, the biggest version, even though you have never used the features that it delivers you, well, it's gonna cost you like 10 times as much as if you had been smart and just chosen the standard version that very well covered what you actually needed. So we're gonna go with that one just because data center version has a lot of features that I don't need for this project. So next! And we have to agree to the license agreement, otherwise we are very quickly on our way out again. This screen is very big. Usually I think it's a smaller window, but oh, we have a lot of partitions here. Let's see, we have disk 0, we have disk 1. It looks like those two are the two NVMe's. Then we have, that's disk 1, and then there's disk 2, which is the thing that we are in. No, that's not it. Disk 3 is the one we are installing from. Disk 2 must be the one sitting in there with the TOS operating system on it. So I think disk 0 is probably the one that we want to delete, and I think we need to delete all of that. We're gonna delete some partitions here. Everything on disk 0 we're gonna delete, and then hopefully it will allow me to create a new partition in there. I didn't put anything of interest on that disk. I haven't done anything with this box since I showed it to you. So now we have this one. I think we can just select it and press next. Is that correct? Let's see. It seems like it's doing what I wanted it to do. Ready to install? Yes, install. Keep nothing. I like that. Good. Windows Server 25 is installing. 1% completed. Yep, this looks like it could take a few minutes. So I think we will. I can't waffle for that long, so I'll be back when this is ready. Okay, it got to here. I have just put in administrator passwords. I have no idea how long this took. I was in the garden doing stuff, but it did copy in all the stuff. So let's see. Is it booting? I think it's booting. Huh. The screen resolution isn't high. Well, let's see what it sees. So apparently it needs some drivers for the graphics to be better. Oh yeah, Microsoft, they're really trying to push us over to use Azure. I am gonna ask them not to show this message again. I'm not really that interested in their cloud solution. And as a server operating system, it's pretty normal for this server manager to start up. It gets really annoying. So under manager and server manager properties, you can put this one and it doesn't start up every time. So there we are. Looks very different from what I'm used to. Can we maybe do some display settings and get a better resolution? Advanced, that could be it. 800 times 600. Yeah, that's not great. It also does not see any internet, so my best guess is that it does not see it doesn't have the driver for the network card, whatever network card is in this TerraMaster, which that could actually become quite the issue, because getting drivers for that might be very difficult. It does not look like it can handle a higher resolution. I'll peek around. Okay, so here under the device manager, we do have an Ethernet controller that has not been installed, and yeah, it doesn't really look like it knows what it's looking for, and update driver doesn't really. Well, we could search the computer for a driver. Is computer C5? Anything? Next, search for driver. It's not gonna find anything. It would have found it if it was there. But yeah, it's worth a long shot. So it's searching C for driver and it didn't find anything. Okay, search for update driver on Windows Update. Yep, to get on there we need the network driver. So we're kind of caught here. I need to go and Google what network card is in this. See if there's any help to get. Okay, I cheated a little bit. I have this little USB network card, this one, that I installed, and I found the driver for that one because that's a known one. So now I have network on the computer. It's 100 megabits. It's plenty for updating this server. and hopefully when updating it will find the greatest it's gonna be able to find on the internet drivers for a lot of the other stuff. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna update server 2025, and in that process I think it might find some of the other stuff, or at least that's what I'm hoping for. So now we should be able to go down here and updates, update, check for updates. That's what we want. Checking for updates. Computers, we keep your blah 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 blah. We have some security updates. What options do we have? It is already updating some advanced options. Photos. It has some stuff here for the system. It has some Intel Corporation display stuff. That would be nice if it would improve my resolution. That would most definitely help my yeah, this 800 times 600s. That time hasn't been kind to that resolution. Windows Update. I have many years of practice. So we are still downloading. I thought I was smart, so I went and I took the box apart before I put in the other network card. But I took a picture of this chip because I thought that would be the network chip, and it is a Realtek chip, but it seems like it might be more of a USB thingy. So when looking for what a device is that the server can't find, there is this, well, we can just move in and see. This is the device manager, and this is the Ethernet controller that we don't know what is, so we can double click on that and we can see different stuff about it. And over here under events, it has some device PCI information, and this thing, if you take a good picture of that and start Googling some of these, there is something like there's a vendor, and there is like a that tells us what company it is, and some of the, I'm not entirely sure which one, also tells us what card this is. So very often you can take a picture of that and then Google this and Google that and Google that, and you will end up with a way better idea of what you're actually looking for. And to get that, we take a photocopy here. I do have internet on this, so I could probably cut and paste some of it, but I'll just take a photocopy so that we have it. Okay, I didn't do a thing. It automatically improved the resolution. So apparently it has installed the display driver down here. So just updating Windows improved it. In the meantime, I think I figured out that the network card is a Marvell network card. I am not very familiar with those, but install all. Okay, so it improved the resolution even though it hasn't installed the display driver yet, so that is I'm curious about that one. Okay, it's ready for its reboot. Go gadget. After updating the server, it did not find the network driver, but I'm here at Marvell's homepage, and they have some driver download, and I have put in Marvell public driver is one of the things you can select. Windows. I haven't picked the part number, but I keyword AQTION, kind of action but with a Q. I don't know, but it gives me some good suggestions down here. Something from reasonably, not very old, and a 64-bit driver. It's for Windows 10 and 11, but I would expect that that would work for Server 2025. So we're gonna try and snatch that, and I have to agree to something. Agree. There, it downloaded. Open file there, and let's put that Let's see, we have something there, and we have some C colon. We're gonna make a temporary directory. Temp. And we're gonna throw the drivers in there. Let's just call that directory net. Net. If I find some more stuff, so we're just gonna pick that, put it in there, and they're still compressed. Driver, I think we need those, right? We're gonna steal those. Copy. We're gonna go back a little bit. Driver. Up, up, up. Put them in there, paste there, and we're gonna go and minimize all this crap, and then we're gonna go and cancel, and this one we're gonna update driver, browse my computer, browse, and we're gonna go to the C drive, if I can find that. How did it get me all the way out here? Go away. This PC. Okay, they have hidden that really well. Temp. Do we want Windows 10 or 11? Let's try 11. See what it suggests. Installing drivers. Windows has successfully updated your driver with a 10 gigabit Ethernet card. There. Piece of cake. Oldest trick in the book. Let's hope this works. Otherwise I might be retracting that laughter. But just to show it again, we have a PCI device here that is not finding. We can update driver and we can search automatically and it won't find anything. So we go to the details and we can go to the hardware info here and we can snatch probably the top one, copy that, and then we go to a browser, and this is Bing. It's perfectly fine for this, and it will tell me that this is something Intel stuff, so it's an Intel driver. So let's see, there are some drivers here. I think Intel Management Engine driver for Windows 10, blah, 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 blah. And there is a down. It's most likely this thing. So let's borrow that. It's, I accept. Go get it. And it's downloading that. And I'm pretty sure that that stuff is going to be what we want. Okay, I have downloaded that driver and I've unzipped it or whatever you call that, and all the drivers are here and it's a very big file. So let's see if we can have this, I'll minimize that, if we can have this PCI device find its own driver. So update driver, browse my computer, and we need to point to the right directory, which is temp, but that Intel one there. Okay, include subdirectories. Next. It did not find my driver. Yeah, I ran an installer and it actually got rid of 2 of the missing drivers over here. Just not the one that I was messing with. So I might want to reboot this and see if anything more disappears. Okay, a reboot did absolutely nothing. So I want to try and I want to remove those 2 that it doesn't recognize. Remove, uninstall. And the other one, uninstall. Gone they are. And then we want to search for new hardware changes. And they pop right back in. And it did absolutely nothing good for me. That's irritating. Okay, let's see if this setup chipset thingy, if that does the trick. Next, agree, install, Come on, work. And they disappeared. Oh, it was something simple. Awesome. So it worked. I was able to install Server 2025 on this TerraMaster F8 SSD Plus NAS. It's way too expensive to use as a Server 2025 server like this, but it does have some great benefits. It's for sure not very noisy. It more or less fits very well in any suitcase if you want to bring your own server to the party. And it just happens to have 8 bays for NVMe's inside, so it's a great storage server. And in Server 2025 you can install the Microsoft Server storage possibilities, storage spaces, and that is all pretty cool. I am naturally gonna see if I can install Proxmox on this as well in a later video. I don't think it will work with VMware. VMware has gotten so picky that I don't think we get very far with this. Especially the NetDriver, which was the one that messed with me the most. But yeah, it's a cool little NAS, and it's an even cooler little server. But thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.